Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, Latasha. So we're near the end of our call here. So here's how it works. So I talked to you about the online tutoring, and I'll give you the
Mhm.
prices on that for the 6 week and the 12 week.
Okay.
Um, I also don't know what I'm going to charge yet on All School. That's a different platform. And so I need to see if their platform supports that kind of pricing. Um, and that's probably the way I'm going to go with that. Also do a 6 week and 12 week program. So I don't think the prices will be different. However, I will look at that and see. I'm going to make sure that it's kind of fair because the the 6 week program and the 12 week program, they're going to consist of 2 1 hour sessions per week. So it'll be like Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. And then I'm going to have a
Okay.
third session in there for one-on-one or questions.
Okay.
And the other
Oh,
thing, as I was explaining to a couple of parents that have either kids on the autistic spectrum or are, what's the word? There's another student who has a traumatic brain injury. And so I am also prepared to do a fourth session if I need to work more directly one-on-one with somebody because I'm noticing that they have special needs. Not
mhm.
necessarily saying that they're special ed, but just something a little bit above and beyond what a one-on-one session would suffice. Okay, so the I'm going to share my screen here.
Okay. And my son's message here says he's just finished the eighth grade, so he's a rising ninth grader.
Oh, wow. Okay. Arriving ninth and arriving seventh.
I thought she was going into the eighth grade though, but she says she's going into the seventh, so I'm going to stick with that.
Do you think your son would know?
Oh, that's a good point. Let me
Huh,
let me message you right.
yeah.
Okay. So yes, so the sixth grade is what's up here.
So she's going into the seventh grade.
It says here the sixth.
Oh, she's going into the sixth grade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, let me go back. Oop, what did I just do? There it is. Yes, I can see your screen.
Yeah. Okay. So now this is just a 6 week program. There is a 12 week that I designed my program around.
Okay.
But it was taking so long for my learning curve in terms of just the technology that it was getting so close to summer. I figured, okay, forget the 12-week program. Let's do a 6 week program, and we'll save the 12-week program. That's going to be the normal kind of tutoring structure. That's going to be starting in the fall. Now
Oh,
that is
okay.
going to be 1,500 for a total of 12 weeks. All
Oh,
right.
wow.
So that is it's pretty competitive actually with what people are charging.
Mm-hmm.
Um, especially if the student does, opt for that third session, which will be a drop-in session, um, either on the same day as the tutoring, one of the two tutoring days, or a separate day, probably one of the same days.
Okay.
And again, with students that really need that help, there will be a fourth session, so that would drop the per hour price if you were looking at it that way. But
Mm-hmm.
as I mentioned, so it's a one-time fifth. No, actually, I'll take two payments or three payments, and that's the 1,500. However, for the pay in full, uh, that would be 1,200. So that would go down. That would be a discount. on the
Okay.
12 week. All right, now the 6 week program here. Um, by the way, and that's probably going to go up because I'm keeping it low this time just because I haven't done this kind of online format before.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're looking at for 6 weeks, it's 750, and that's a three pay or a two pay. So a three pay would be 250, and the two pay would be 300, I think
Okay.
375 per two payments. And then there's a discount for the pay in full, which is 600.
Okay. And how many times per week are you meeting with the kids again?
At
It's
least
for the six.
twice. Yeah, and
So,
there's definitely going to be a third session in there. Now that whether or not your student actually goes to that third session will be up to them.
oh, okay.
And they can go to
Oh,
all of them if they want.
okay.
Yeah, it won't necessarily be like a third lesson.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I do notice that there are enough kids who have similar questions, I might just say, okay, let's dive right in. Let's do a structured thing and let's see where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that I love the flexibility of that, by the way, and I just
Yes.
think it's just the right thing for the kids.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
So
how do you do your payments? Are you doing it like Cash Apps or are you doing it PayPal or
yeah, great question. Yeah. So we were advised to go with Stripe, and Stripe,
Hmm,
I'll be able to send. Yeah, I think it's through
I
Facebook.
don't know. Oh, it's through Facebook. I'll
Yeah,
look that up. I'll look it up and learn about it because I don't think I've never heard
yeah,
of that one. So,
yeah, yeah. That's what we were advised to, just because the better customer service, the better experience. Um, I think enough people have hasn't really worked out for them on PayPal. I mean, I've used
mm,
PayPal for years, so I'm
mm-hmm,
not bad mouthing them. It's just what they had made the decision to go with. I can probably do Venmo as well. I haven't thought about that. I use Venmo all the time. So yeah,
okay,
it's a convenient payment system where I can send an invoice or I could have you pay on the platform. It's, pretty
okay,
simple.
all right,
And I know that security is very important. So do your own due diligence on the platform to make sure, you feel comfortable with that before you put your information in it.
right.
Yeah. Any other questions, Latasha?
No, this is actually pretty straightforward,
Yeah.
and I am I'm thrilled that this is even an opportunity or an option this summer. Um, Normally the kids do the go away to the camp kind of a thing. And I just thought if we could really hone in um, on some of the weaker areas that I kind of saw through the school year, throughout the summer, then I'm thinking that next school year is just going to be so much even, better than this school year. And this school year was pretty good. The kids really thoroughly enjoyed these
It's
passion
awesome.
projects, and they were really big projects. It was like a dissertation. And I was really,
Nice.
I was
Nice.
really blown away because, I was almost making excuses like, I don't know if my kids are going to be able to, finish this. And the teacher just kept saying to me, it's okay. They've got this. They've got this. And I said, yes, I see them working on this, but the directions that you have on the sheet, I'm trying to follow the directions. I didn't comprehend the directions, but the kids get it. It's a
Yeah.
different way of learning. And, I try not to be so rigid into the way that I learned how to do things.
Mm,
And so I love the opportunity to even introduce new ways of thinking about education because I just think that's the direction that we all really need to be going with our kiddos they're just different kids. It's just different. Everything is different right now. So I really am excited to even take part in tutoring, virtually.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled that that's even an option. That's blows my mind.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's like all this technology, all these years that we knew about the technology, but who would have thought that, it could be used for a greater good?
That's
Oh, I'm
right.
sorry.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got
exactly.
my kiddos coming in right now, so I'm going to have to hop
Yeah,
off. But I really
yeah.
appreciate you having this session with me. And if you could please, please, please not forget us when it comes
No,
time
not
to,
at all.
yeah, to sign up for everything and get everything going. You said June the 12th, so that's, their school year is already over. Because the private school kids start sooner and they get out earlier through the
Okay.
school year. So,
I I do want to clarify. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I don't want to mislead you here. Um, I think it's going to be easier to work with your ninth grader.
mhm,
Um, Now, in terms of at least in terms of this June 12th cohort, but when it comes to this other platform, I'm going to have to really set aside time and just put everything aside and say, okay, this is what their platform looks like. Because I think the way it works is they find the students. So I need to also find out if I can bring you guys in. I'm pretty sure I can. And that way I need to ask myself, okay, am I going to be able to take seventh graders? Is it going to be a general audience? What that's going to look like? And I will put a note here um, to definitely try to get back to you as soon as I can within that first week of June. So that way I can refer you to others. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to give you a little bit. I don't know if you want to call it homework, but I'll give you some things that'll help me to help you.
right.
For example, if you any other questions that I might have about your daughter and her needs, that way when I do refer her out, and I have written some things down that I'm looking at, then I can be more thorough. And then anyway, that person can reach out to you at that point, and they'll have a similar conversation to what we're having now, all about your daughter, and it'll be like her age group and
Okay.
her subject matter.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Thanks so much, Latasha. And if you can think of any other questions, don't hesitate to text.
Sure will.
And I'm going to send you a link to my Facebook page. I have some tools up there already that you can use. Um, and I'm going to be putting more. It's a new page, so there's not a lot there, but I'm every week I'm at least putting one thing up there.
Okay. Awesome.
All
Thanks
right,
so much.
Natasha, you're
Okay.
welcome. Thanks for your time.
All right. Thank you.
All
You
right,
have a blessed
have a
day.
great, you too, likewise.